Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English from the Netherlands. And it's windy here, that's why I have this black thing in my face. Today I want to present you the all-new Opel Karl. And some of you might think, well, Opel, what? But since Chevrolet left the market in Europe, Opel is now sneaking in where at all the places they haven't been so far, and they hope to sell the Opel Karl, for instance, in East Europe and in South Europe, as well as in Germany, of course, since Opel is a German brand. The Opel Karl was already introduced to the public at the Geneva Auto Show in March 2015. And the platform is shared with the Chevrolet Spark, so 1/3 of the car is similar to the Chevrolet Spark, but the whole design is made by Opel as well as the engine. And at least in Germany it will be available starting at July the 20th, 2015. In this segment we do have a lot of competitors in the mini car segment. In Germany the most successful is most probably the Volkswagen Up and the two sisters, the Skoda Citigo and the Seat Mii, but as well the Citroën C1, the Peugeot 108 or the Hyundai i10, the Renault Clio or the Smart 4. Opel wants to make it simple with the car, especially for the customers. They don't have to decide too much, not too much options, especially with the powertrain. There's just one powertrain available. It's always a 5-speed manual transmission, it's always front-wheel drive, and it's always the same engine, a 1-liter Ecotec 3-cylinder with 75 horses, and this engine is good for only 95 Newton meters of torque, and this maximum torque is available between 4,500 and 6,500 RPM. By the way, you might know this engine already from the Corsa or the Opel Adam, but both of those models have direct injection and a turbocharger. And here, the main facts. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 13.9 seconds. It's not a race car. However, the top speed is reached at 170 kilometers per hour, which equals 106 miles per hour. The gas tank of the Opel Karl is good for 32 liter, equals 8.5 gallons. Opel claims a fuel consumption of 4.3 liters on 100 kilometers or 54.7 miles per gallon. This value is only reached if you have the aero kit, so a front and a roof spoiler. This fuel consumption means that under perfect condition you can drive up to 740 kilometers or 460 miles without getting gas. The little Karl has a length of 3.67 meters, which equals 144 inches. With a wheelbase of 2.38 meter equals 94 inches. Its height is 1.47 meters, which equals 58 inches. And it is 1.69 meters wide, which equals 67 inches. As of the turn radius, you need at least 9.9 meter of free space, which equals 390 inches. The curb weight is 939 kilograms or 2,070 pounds. The admissible total weight is 1,353 kilograms, which equals 2,983 pounds. I'm not sure for your market, but at least in Germany, the Opel Karl comes with 3 different option lines. The cheapest one comes for 9,500 euros and it's called Selective. Then we have Edition, and the model we're driving here is the Exklusiv line with a basis price of 12,900 euros. I'm sorry, I'm not too deep into design, but at least I can say I like that the Karl has a happy face, which you see here. You have clear front lights. Of course, it's not xenon, it's not LED, it's just basic for the price. But I think it's pretty neat that the fog lamps down here have a function as a cornering light as well. Don't blame me for the color we picked. I know it's a wonderful purple, really, not really my color, but it was the only color that had a sunroof as well, and we really wanted to have the sunroof with this nice weather. By the way, in Germany, sunroof 850 euros extra. The purple is one of 10 colors you can choose from, at least in Germany. White is for free, red costs 160 euros extra, and all the other 8 colors like the purple cost 460 euros extra. In the basis version, the Karl stands on 14-inch alloy wheels. We have the 15-inch alloy wheels that come with our option line, and you can go up to 16-inch. By the way, the handles and the mirror caps are in the same paints as the car, but this only starts at the second option line. Toby, my camera assistant, said, well, this car is smiling from the back as well, as you see the happy face. Alright, I'm with him. Since we have the aero pack, we have this little roof spoiler here with an LED braking light, a third one, while all the other lamps are just regular lamps, no LED included. And the designer told us that this car, the Karl, should look a little bit like this from the back instead of this. I'm not sure what he really was telling me, but I think that the car is supposed to look pretty compact but strong a little bit at least. If you're wondering if this car has no exhaust pipe, well, it's hidden down here, and I already told you the sound is not really exciting. That's about the exterior, and now I invite you to follow me inside so I can show you the interior of the Opel Karl. Getting in the car is really easy. I have to lean out just a little bit to grab the door, and it's really light and easy to close. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm really sweating. We have 30 degrees Celsius outside, and inside it's not cooler. So there's a lot of hard plastics in the interior, but we have to keep in mind it is a inexpensive car. I don't want to say cheap, an inexpensive car. So the material, of course, is inexpensive as well. So we have hard plastic wherever your hand is reaching, but at least I have to say that the hard plastic is feeling kind of soft when you touch the surface, which is neat. The center is not driver focus. Okay, it's a tiny car. However, at least I have leather at the steering wheel, or artificial leather, I'm not sure. And I have enough space. I have enough headroom, and it's not feeling any narrow. Well, if Toby's sitting next to me, it is a kind of tight in here, but for such a tiny car, I think the whole feeling of space is just alright. Yeah, let's start with my usual business. Safety belts, whoops, are this long, so if you have a bigger belly, you might want to check if this is enough for you. The seats, we've driven around 50 kilometers. So far, I consider them pretty comfortable. We have this artificial leather on the seats here, which is which comes with the option line we have here. And you can heat the seats if you want in one intensity, and this one is not too strong, but however in winter time I think it's nice if they warm up just a little bit. You can adjust the driver's seat in height at least. Everything else is to be done manually, so you can scoot forward and back all the way, and you have this handle here to change the to change the backrest as well. I rather have a little wheel there so I don't, lose control. I already told you the steering wheel is coated with leather. It feels nice. You can adjust it manually, but just in height, so it's not coming out or being able to scoot in. It's a multifunctional steering wheel. We have buttons on the left side to control the cruise control, and you can heat the steering wheel as well in wintertime if you want to. And on the right side we have controls for the infotainment system. Well, you know, I'm only 180 centimeters, 5'11" tall, but my camera assistant Toby, he is 195 centimeters tall, so good for all the tall people who watch our reviews. 195 centimeters, about 6'5", and it took him a little while to find the right position, but now he thinks he got it, and he has a little conflict between his legs and the steering wheel. However, he says this way he can drive, and the space for his head is at least enough. Here we have two round gauges, classic ones. On the left side, the RPM meter going up to 8,000 RPM with a red range starting at 6,500 RPM. On the right side, the speedometer going up to 220 kilometers per hour. The car goes 170, so 1/3 of the speedometer is just wasted. In between the two round gauges we have a little display for the board computer that you can control over the stick from the turning signals, and as you see you have different values you can check here. Over this little display are two more controls, one for the temperature of the engine and the other one for the gas tank. We have a 7-inch display for the infotainment system, and you have to keep in mind that we are having a system here that will be only available next spring, so at the beginning of 2016. This new system comes with IntelliLink that enables you to hook up iPhones to use Google Apple CarPlay, or Android handies to mobiles to use Android Auto. We have no ambient light in here, but at least a sunroof. It's a small sunroof just for the front. It's at least in Germany costs 850 euros extra. You can open it electrically, slides all the way up and down, and if you want to keep the sun out you can use this shade right here in a manual way. And we have a honk, it's right in the middle, oops, I'm sorry, and sounds like that. Quick run through the compartments. In the door panel we have space not only for this half-a-liter bottle, but I think at least 1 liter, if not even 1.5 liter. And you can put the warning vest if you really want to. In front of the speaker there's a little compartment as well. Here's the grip if you want to close the door, otherwise you can use it as a compartment as well, you know, just for some change or whatever. Next compartment is right down under here, and I have my wallet here and my iPhone, and the iPhone from Opel, which is connected to the USB plug. Next to it is a line in, and we have a 12-volt outlet here as well. Next to it we have two cup holders, and this bottle is pretty lost in here and shakes around. There's none of those little thingies that prevents the bottle from shaking around. However, we have two holders at least. I think a big Starbucks thing fits in here, 1 liter bottle, if it's not too high, otherwise it will scratch on here. Behind the stick shift we have another compartment. Next to the handbrake there's a compartment, and back here's another compartment which might even suit a 2 liter bottle, but I think most likely it's for the passenger in the back. Over the gloves compartment there's another little compartment, and here we have finally anti-slip surface, so it's good for change or keys. And the gloves compartment, however, is really only good for gloves because next to the board material there's not much space left. We have sunshades here, and they're even with a makeup mirror and a ticket holder, but the mirrors, however, oh my god, are not illuminated, so we don't have any lights in here. But you have an entry light or you can use it as a reading light for the driver or the passenger. And here's the switch for the sunroof. Opel is offering the car as a 4-seater or a 5-seater. We have the 5-seater, and I will jump for you in the back now. Just look, there's not much car left behind my back if I sit in the back. So let me jump in. That's not as easy as in the front, but still easy to climb in, and the door is as light as the front door, and here I am. Okay, this will be really quick. No compartments, well, just a door handle. Here you could put anything, but there's no compartment in the door. All we have is this thing here in the middle, but it's not good for this bottle either. We have no bags in the back of the front seats. We have no armrest. We have nothing. All we have are little hooks here for a jacket. And well, it is supposed to be for kids, the rear. So let's see how long the belts are. Yeah, that should be plenty to buckle up a child seat or baby shelf. And we have Isofix hooks for the 2 outer seats. Poorly the locks for the safety belts, they are not very stiff, so little kids shouldn't be able to buckle up themselves, at least not with ease. They prefer stiff locks. And I told you, this one is a 5-seater. Wow, I'm a little bit impressed. I can sit here all right, except of the headrest. That's too tiny. But I'm sitting on the locks of the safety belts, so whoever wants to buckle up has to touch my little butt. And by the way, this place is, well, the driver's seat is in my position. I'm 180 centimeters, 5'11". I am 5'11", and I can sit here all right. Yes, my legs touch the seat, but still comfortable sitting, and I have enough headspace as well. However, yeah, this should work for for 2 grown-ups. One thing, the colors in the back are a little bit toned, and there's no automatic for the powered windows. And so if I stick something out and I roll up the window, my arm gets stuck. There's no brake automatic protection. That's a little bit sad. They're not supposed to have it because you have to use the switch manually. But still, you know, one kid fingering around with a switch and the other one having something inside, that's not good. And I think they should fix it very soon, because that's just €2 or whatever in production. This is the key of the Opel Karl. I can unlock or lock all doors here with 2 buttons, but there's no separate button for the trunk. So the only way I can open this is reach under the badge of Opel and open it. It swings up pretty much by itself, which is nice. On the other hand, it's a little bit irritating because you really need a lot of power to close it. However, this tiny trunk we have here is good for 215 liters. And I can remove the privacy shield. And let me look inside. We have a little lamp here. And under the carpet of the trunk, well, if you want to call it carpet, we have the tire fit and the warning triangle, while the first aid kit is just flying around here. Since we have a 5-seater, the backrest of the second row is separated 60-40, and I can flip them over 60-40. And first impression is, what? Because flipping the seats has really no effect to anything. But if you flip the cushion first, and this unfortunately only works if the driver is not taller than 180, you can at least have an almost plain surface. By the way, from the very back to here we have 1 meter and 10 centimeters, and in wide we have around 96 centimeters. By the way, if you want to lift stuff inside, you have to lift it 72 centimeters up and then it goes 22 centimeters down again. Once I've flipped everything in the right way, I have enough space for 1019 liters. And I can store up to 414 kilograms in the little Karl. However, we didn't find any value for the roof, so I don't think that you can put stuff on the roof, and nothing for a trailer, so you won't be able to pull trailers. Okay, let me sum up my driving expression real quick. Small car, small impression. The engine with its 75 horsepower is of course not made to race anything. However, in the city it is enough. The first 3 gears are just fine to get along, especially in combination with the steering and the suspension. You do have a pretty neat, tiny, fun car. You can even have fun with this car. Well, if you go on the country roads then, or even on the highway, well, the fun is over, to be honest. You know, acceleration from 100 up to whatever is like painfully slow and really no fun. In the city, especially with the steering, you have a really nice agile car and it's fun to drive, really. The suspension surprised me. It's pretty comfortable. We were driving here in the Netherlands on smaller roads where the pavement is not like 100% fine all the time, and nothing really disturbed my back while driving this car, so I'm quite pleased and fine with the suspension. The steering is really light. That's why you have fun in the city, and you even have an assist, a city assist that you can push, and it's getting even more easy to navigate the car. I wouldn't need it. I think the steering itself like this is just fine for driving in the city. The brakes are just fine. We didn't really use them too much. I just tried it out once, make an emergency stop, fine with the car. I mean, it's a lightweight car. You don't need big brakes for that. The sound of the car is a little rough, and if you really push it hard, it's getting a little loud. But overall, if you just shift before 3000 RPM, it's a silent runner as well. Wind noises, no real wind noises up to 100 kilometers per hour. The manual 5-speed transmission is fine as well. The shifting ways are precise. They are not too long, but just like a regular car, it's fine. You can shift easily and very precise. And as I said, in the first 3 gears, you can even have fun. The faster you go, the less fun you have with this car. I can't really tell you much about fuel consumptions. I've driven this car now around 90 kilometers, and we have fuel consumption of 7.6 liters by now on 100 kilometers. But we didn't drive very efficient. We were filming and all that. So if you just see the picture of the board computer in between, it says even 7.9 liters. So that's no number I would really tell you, because it's just a nonsense value for me. I think you can drive this car easily with 6 liters. The car comes with at least one assist system. Well, first of all, we have a cruise control, not adaptive of course. Then we have a lane departure warning system. We have a stereo camera in front of the rear mirror, and it scans the road for the lanes and is supposed to warn me. This did not really work too well in our test car, at least. I was departing the lanes all the time and no warning. So maybe Opel has to fine-tune it just a little bit. As an assist, once you start driving on a hill, so the car is not rolling back, that's useful. And besides that, the infotainment system is quite neat. It starts shipping in early 2016, so you have to wait for this a little while. But once it's available, you can hook up your iPhone or your Droid phone and use it for navigation, for instance, and listening to music and all that, while the infotainment itself just has a radio. So there's just a radio if you want to with DAB, and but besides that, there's not much. The speakers are just fine for this little car. It's not impressive, but you can at least listen to music in a decent way. Well, let me sum up all my impressions about the new Opel Karl. For a tiny car, a little car, I'm quite impressed. For a daily driver, me taking the kids to school, it's all fine. You know, even me and 3 mates going, you know, out for night clubbing or whatever, it wouldn't be the coolest car, but it would work. If you do your grocery runs, you know, you can store a little bit in the trunk, but if you take your 2 kids as well, it's not too clever, I guess. But just, you know, for someone who starts driving, he will probably enjoy this car, because driving in the city at least is even fun. The handling is pretty neat, as the steering is very agile as well. Just if you hit the country roads, the engine won't, you know, have enough speed or power to really let it go. But for someone who starts driving, I think it's a neat car. However, I'm a little bit sad that it is produced in Korea, not even in Europe. But Opel told me if it's successful in Europe, they will probably put the production to Europe and so save some work for us as well. Well, yeah, if you like this review, please give me a thumb up. If you have any questions, put them in the comment fields below. If you have any suggestions for us, put them in the comments as well. I'm saying goodbye, yours, Mr. Z.